This is Putting Veterans First, a presentation of the National Veterans Rights Association. NVRA is an organization with one thing in mind, putting the rights and best interest of our veterans first and foremost. This program will provide guidance to the 60,000 homeless vets seeking help, to the millions denied benefits, to the families of more than 17,000 vets annually who commit suicide. Putting Veterans First is hosted by Stu Steinberg, a veteran who served in Vietnam as an explosive ordnance disposal specialist from 1968 to 1970 and a volunteer service officer for Vietnam Veterans of America since 1978.
Welcome to podcast 2 of 4 on stem cell therapy and veterans. Our podcast guests today are Stuart A. Steinberg, Chairman, National Veterans Rights Association, Incorporated; Kristen Comella, Chief Scientific Officer, BioHeart and U.S. Stem Cell Clinic, and Director, National Veterans Rights Association; and Dr. Randall Davis, CEO, Luminec Life Sciences Health and Wellness Clinic, and Director, National Veterans Rights Association.
I've heard a lot of great things about orthopedic application for stem cell therapies. Now, Kristen, you maybe want to just embellish a little bit on some of your experiences working on orthopedic type of issues.
Specific to orthopedics, what we'll do is isolate the stem cells from the fat tissue. What's unique about the cells that we can get from the fat tissue is that they are multi-potential in nature, and what that means is that they are able to form a variety of different types of tissue, including things like bone and cartilage. And so when a patient has something like osteoarthritis, they have a lot of damage to the cartilage. They might have what are called chondral defects. They can also have damage to the bone. By placing these cells directly into the joint, they can actually help to repair that damage and create new tissue. The cells are also naturally anti-inflammatory, so they will reduce any inflammation in there prior to beginning to produce the new tissue. So in orthopedics, about 85% of our patients show a positive response to these types of treatments. And oftentimes we can get this with just one dose of stem cells. The other benefit using stem cells for an orthopedic application is that this is not requiring a lot of downtime like you would have to get with a surgery. So a total joint replacement or something like that would require a lot of downtime, 6 weeks of recovery plus then physical therapy. With these therapies, you can actually return to your regular activities the next day. You can go about your work activities or your normal activities, and so now patients are not having to take as much time off work and have reduced ability to move around.
That's huge. That's incredible. What we've noticed is that there are certain patients that do better with stem cells and others that maybe haven't had quite the results they were looking for. And that's how I came to start working with Kristen and her group for that very reason. We feel that, and Kristen, maybe you could back me up on this, or the idea that if the body is so incredibly malfunctioning, unhealthy, there's a lot of damage, there's a lot of inflammation, there's a lot of issues going on, we like to have something for the stem cells to grab hold of, some decent tissue that the stem cells can work with. So that's why we determined that if we could combine these programs with my nutritional protocols and the use of our proprietary products called TAFA 400 and Triamino to prep the body for 2 or 3 months leading up to a stem cell procedure, if possible, we believe we're going to see a lot better results. And then on the back end of that, we feel the follow-up is actually very important too, to continue the body in a new lifestyle. In other words, whatever caused the body, it's one thing if you get blown up like Stu, or you have a car accident, or you have some kind of a trauma. But a lot of the cases we work with, there's a lot of lifestyle issues that really need to be changed. So the lifestyle and the habits and your diet and whatever you've been doing up to the point where now your body is so sick and malfunctioning that you need a stem cell procedure, you go ahead and get the stem cells. If you don't change anything, what's the likelihood that your body's going to break down again? We think it's increased. So we want to hedge our bets, so to speak, and strategize how to give your body the best potential health going into this procedure and then on the back end of the procedure, and we think we're going to see a lot better results. So I would like to talk about our Tri-Amino and Taflo for a minute, because this is a remarkable new molecule that's been invented, actually two different products, by a man named Stephen Schutt. He's a scientist, and he's literally been working on this formulation for 35 years, maybe 37 years. And I don't want to take too much time, but originally he was trying to come up with a product after he had a real bad sunburn on a canoe trip. He was trying to come up with a product that could help burns and maybe prevent burns and so forth. Well, he had an accident in the lab, and based on this accident, this explosion, he spent the next 5 or 6 years literally daily trying to recreate that accident, and basically came up with a product that's all natural. It's made out of amino acids, and that's what's called Tri-Amino. There's 3 amino acids, and the real magic of this product is the art of how it's actually made. The amino acids are basic amino acids and a base of pentawater, but really the way it's made and formulated, that creates literally a new molecule. And based on what we are calling Schutt's paradigm of free amino ion alignment and molecular stability, we feel that, in a nutshell, this Tri-Amino product will take a dysfunctional cell and render it functional again. So by adding free amino ions to a biological organism containing unstable or mutant cells, induces protein biosynthesis, where free amino ions combine with nucleic acid in an unstable or mutated nuclei of a cell to form structures characterized by the most stable alignment and arrangement of molecules, resulting in restoration of the genetically pre-programmed structure and function of the previously unstable cellular nuclei. So that's our paradigm now of healing. We believe that the free amino ions are going to release. They go into the cell and they re-stabilize the nucleic acids. They stabilize the nucleic acids on the DNA and the RNA strands, and that really helps it turns back on the genetic expression of the cell, so to speak. Then what we've been able to do is combine that product with fulvic acid, F-U-L-V-I-C, fulvic acid. And there's a lot of different sources of that, but we've got the safest source that's patented from a company in South Africa that we are in a joint venture with, and they produce fulvic acid from a carbohydrate-derived source, and it's safe, it's non-toxic. There's a lot of controversy about fulvic acid, as there should be, because in the wrong form, it is a neurotoxin. But in the form that we use, it's safe. We've done LD50 studies. We've used this product, which is not yet available to the general public, but we've been doing studies for the last 15 years on patients. We have over 800 patients documented, over 500 animals documented. It has agriculture applications. But in a nutshell, the fulvic acid component with the Tri-Amino, now you have an antimicrobial, antibacterial, anti-yeast, antifungal, anti-parasitic formulation. It helps reduce inflammation, helps restore healing, helps restore normal function. And we've just seen some incredible results with all kinds of applications: COPD, lung problems, skin problems, horrible viruses and bacteria like MRSA, which is very difficult to control. Our TAFA gets rid of that readily. So in 30 years of working in holistic medicine, I've never seen a product quite like this that does so much, and it's so safe. Animals, you can have a cow with mastitis, and in one day we can get rid of the bacteria down to standards where the milk is safe again, versus a typical protocol where it might be 10 days before the cow is ready to go back on the line. So there's just so many possibilities. We thought this would be an unbelievable combination with the stem cell therapy, and for years we've had this concept. John Everding, the founder of Luminec, and myself, we've been working for the last 6 years developing protocols with specific diagnostic testing. I've got a team now of the best specialists in the world, including Miss Camella, which we're so delighted to be able to work with. We've got Michael Borkin out in California, Saber Sciences. We've got Ed and Patricia Kane and their group out east doing fatty acid and and those tests through Kennedy Krieger Lab, which is part of Johns Hopkins. We've had a patented IgG food allergy test, the only one of its kind to eliminate and identify potential allergens to the body to help reduce the burden on the immune system. You have to avoid foods that you're allergic to. There's no way your body will function as well. So we know that the diet is a really crucial part of this whole protocol. So we're very keen on detoxing, reducing inflammation, nourishing the body. A lot of the testing we do are showing that people are eating food and they're drinking water, but they're not absorbing the nutrients properly, and their bodies are just filling up with toxins. And then we're finding genetic aspects and detoxification pathways, and we really do a very precise testing before we put the patient on a protocol of the TAF and the Tri-Amino. We probably look at over 280 values as far as lab tests and different things before we will design a protocol. So it's a really thorough, in-depth lifestyle overhaul leading up to a stem cell procedure with Ms. Camella and her group. She's actually trained over 600 doctors around the world on how to do procedures. So based on where you're at, we would like you to come to Florida and work with her, but it's not necessary. You could do these procedures literally all over the United States, and I think there's other countries where she's trained some doctors outside of the United States to do these procedures as well. Kristen, if they wanted to look up your information and get some information on the web, is there a website they could go to?
usstemcellclinic.com, and then our parent company is bioheartinc.com. So U.S. Stem Cell Clinic is a division of the parent company, but U.S. Stem Cell Clinic is the most appropriate place to go for patient information.
For TAFA and Tri-Amino information, you would want to go to, at this point, it's called Amnion Animal, AMNION Animal.com, and that will link you to the human side of things, and then the National Veterans Rights Association.
It's nationalveteransrights.org.
That's an incredible website, and the things that Stu has been doing to help veterans is really incredible.
You've been listening to Putting Veterans First, a program designed to help millions of vets and their families receive the benefits and care they deserve. Putting Veterans First is a presentation of the NVRA, the National Veterans Rights Association. Veterans Rights